Welcome back, everybody, to the Breaking the Habit charity stream. My name is DJ Clark 21 or Clark or Dave or whatever you want to call me. Doesn't really matter. I'm just glad you're here. We are about to start an incentive that we met to get Animaniacs run here with SuperSonic, and I'm going to turn it over to him in just a second. But we had two donations come in during our break. One from Surf for $27. Says, Clock made me do it. Have an awesome rest of the event, folks. Thank you for that, and thank you to Clock for that great run, or that great run that there's about to be. I think that's coming up after this one. And then Yasi, it's time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max, so just sit back and relax. You'll laugh till you collapse. We're Animaniacs. Sorry, I could not sing that for you, but I did the best I could. I'm going to take you through this run with reading donos for SuperSonic as he is back here to play this retro game for us. Take it away, Sonic.
All right, thanks very much, and hello everybody. Welcome back to Breaking the Habit, as you just mentioned. I don't know. I had an intro planned out for this, but it just totally left my head. But anyways, I'm SuperSonic. This is Animaniacs on the Sega Genesis, which is completely different from the Super Nintendo version. We will be doing the easy category, which I already have it set on my level here for the options. So without further ado, we'll just go ahead and get started with the game here. And we will go in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so first things first, we're exiting out of the Warner Tower because Ralph decided to lock us in there, but he's not smart enough to completely lock us in there. So this is the intro stage. It basically shows what each character can do. This is basically like a Sonic Heroes style game where you can switch characters and they all have different abilities and such. Also, Dot was supposed to get run there. So yeah, that was the intro stage. And now here we are into the Indiana Jones movie studio. So there are like 4 studios that you can pick from. We usually just go with the normal order, like 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the run. You could pretty much pick any order you want. However, this is kind of the fastest way to do it currently. And yeah, you'll see me utilize each character by doing different things. Like, you know, with Dot, she has like the kissing ability to pretty much immobilize the male counterparts. And then you kind of see Wacko has the mallet there. Also, I did not mean to... Wow, I totally screwed that up. That was not supposed to happen. I wasn't supposed to hit the thing yet, but I guess I was just showing a demonstration and my brain just decided to, let's just go ahead and show this now and I'll just fall into the spikes. No big deal. And yeah, exactly. So let's do this over again. And I totally missed. There we go. So I just make a platform for that guy's head. As you can see, like whenever we do character changes, it'll pretty much be in a set order. So it'll start off with Yakko, and then you can go to Wacko, and then Dot, and back to Yakko. You cannot switch characters from like Yakko to Dot, or Dot to Wacko, so on and so forth. So it's pretty much static from there. So like these stages right here, well, at least this stage in particular, this is an auto-scroller stage, so there's really not much we can do here to make things go faster. But also to mention that we have Yakko, and he has a paddle ball, but he also has another ability in which he can push and pull heavy objects. So we will see Yakko in play right here. And we will be seeing security guard Ralph a lot in this game. He is actually one of the main bosses, like mainly in the regular stages, but as we get towards like the end of the game, we will see a different boss for the final fight here. So now we gotta wait for these platforms to come down. They decided to put the switch on the very bottom of this waterfall here. So what I'm gonna do is take damage intentionally to start climbing up on these, and hopefully I don't have to climb an extra set of platforms. There we go. Okay, that's perfect. So now we got another auto-scroller section. This is pretty much to set the tracks either like up or down, depending. But for this, we're just gonna have this part down. Grab the banana, and then we just gotta keep it up for the rest of the way. So you'll see on the top left corner of the screen, they have their faces. So that's basically their health. They have different expressions when they take damage. So this is like full health currently, and then they'll be like kind of mellow, like smiling and whatnot. They'll have like a worried face and then like a dead face. And then they also have like a blinking dead face, so that's like, you know, pretty much critical hit or anything like that. So usually the healing items will only recover by 1 hit point. There aren't any like full heals or anything like that. And they do have extra lives scattered about, but we're going to try not to collect extra lives because they do count towards the score total, which I'll explain once we get to that section. So now we're going to utilize Wacko here. Wacko is going to be our star of the show for the majority of this run because of his mallet. And he does help out with some of the boss fights, and then you also have Yakko helping out with a few things. Dot is just kind of there, just being cute. And I mean, she'll have some uses, but not as much as Yakko and Wacko.
That brings me to a question, if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
Chat, you can answer along with. Did you have a favorite Animaniac?
Wacko.
Yeah,
easily.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, I want to ask like who's everyone's favorite Animaniac was, and I'm like, it's all gonna be Wacko.
Gotta be. Yep.
All right, so here we are fighting against security guard Ralph. He's pretty big, so he makes like this shockwave thing, and you see like this rubble fall from the ceiling. The rubble is actually RNG, and it does damage us as well, but it doesn't take too much damage. It's probably like chip damage or something like that. So here we are. We actually grabbed one of our first artifacts, and as you can see, when the score counts down, it is calculating like how many stars we have and how many lives we have. Normally in like world record attempts or PB attempts, we would take intentional deaths at the very start of level 1 to bring our life count to 0. That way the score countdowns will go a lot faster. But in this case, since we are in a marathon setting, we will not be doing that. We would keep whatever lives that we have and try to finish the run that way. So here we are in the Star Wars or Star Trek like studio. And we got Solly the God Pigeon here. I'm gonna try to blow a kiss with Dot, make a platform. And still to this very day, I never understood what Solly the God Pigeon would always say, because he always mumbles. So we have like a little bit of a slow platform here. Those lasers are also RNG. You just kind of try to avoid it, but I jumped way too early and fall into the pit. So I'm kind of glad I didn't do the death strat in the beginning.
And I get a vote for Yakko. Yakko in the chat got a vote.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, Yakko's good too.
I mean, yeah, we're just splitting hairs here. They're all great.
Yeah, they're all great in their own right. Yeah, I used to watch the cartoons back in the day, and like whenever they came on, like the Saturday morning cartoons or anything like that. Like out here in the West Coast, we had it on, I think we had it on like channel 11 or something like that, or channel 5, I forget. But whenever that show came on, I would just put on the TV and watch it.
Yeah, I was a fan of all of them, man. DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, Animaniacs, Tiny Toons.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah, we had them good for the cartoons in the 90s.
Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons, X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman.
Oh, hell yeah. All the good ones. Okay, so in this section, this is pretty much an opportunity to break open those chests to see if they have any health drops and whatnot, but we don't necessarily need to do that. In this situation, we're just going to stay as Yakko to just kind of paddleball Ralph here to stun lock him. This part is automated, so we just have to wait until the background goes away, and then it'll allow us to start moving again. But right about now, there we go. Oh, I got hit by that. That's okay. All right, now we head into this section, and like the beginning of this song reminds me of Undertaker's gong for some reason. Okay, let me see if I can get this life skip here. Oh, whoops. Ah, almost had it. Let me see. Can I fix this? Nope, I broke everything. I was trying to get a life skip there by jumping at the very edge of the block. There's like 1 pixel in which you can just have a full jump and you'll just make it across without having to break open the box there. So we have to like set it pretty precise and then do a jump like that. That's what should have happened there. But that's okay. You get to see what happens when I mess it up. So, yeah, more Ralph here. It's gonna be pushing these crates to make platforms. So yeah, this is pretty much just strictly a 2D platformer, just with some character changing elements. There aren't any glitches in this game as far as we know currently. I mean, we have been searching for them to see if we can make this run faster, but as of now, we haven't really found anything. So it's just pretty much like movement, execution, just being able to just get the placements pretty quickly and optimizing times that way. The world record currently sits around the 24-minute mark, I believe. And my PB in this game is like a 25, so it's like not that far off. Since
Nice,
we found since we found a few strats in this game. Also, hello nurse. Just kind of there for a bit. That's probably her only cameo in this game, unfortunately.
Gotta be at least one.
It's gotta be one. And here we are. I feel like this is an homage to Chemical Plant Zone in Sonic 2, with those platforms there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that 100% was.
Yeah, I feel like this game has like a little bit of everything. Like you'll probably recognize something from like an older game.
Even these red buttons kind of feel Sonic-y to me.
Yeah.
With the hammer there.
Yeah, like this screen, like in particular, like when that the lamp blew up and everything, that created a lot of lag. This is probably like one of the two spots that is very laggy in this game because there's so many like objects on the screen. And for some reason, there's going to be ice cream in the middle of a fire pit, but you know, it allows us to heal up some health, so that's nice.
Just like in Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly. So now here we are. This is like a stage from Donkey Kong Jr. on the NES. I think it's like stage 3 in that game. They're just kind of climbing up, and there's like these sparks kind of flying around and such. So we just got to get to the top here, and then we are going to hit Ralph with the ouch. Not with the ouch, with the paddle ball. There we go. Just gotta jump over that. Sometimes these cycles can be a little strange. Trying to avoid them. Okay, but there's the very top right there. Okay, there we go. And then Ralph is just gonna try to drop lights on us, but which one hit? Just get our artifact right there. Okay, so we got 2 artifacts down. We got 2 more to go. So you can think of the stage select screen sort of like Mega Man in a way. You can like pick whichever stage you want. And then there's like one other stage after this, which I like to consider the Wily stage, which is a really difficult stage in this game. But in this Western stage, this is actually the most RNG heavy level of the game. Mainly because of the boss fights, once we get to that section. Also, these wild horses are just platforms for us. Stun Ralph there just to walk past him, and we will be seeing Mindy and Buttons quite a bit, but we will not be putting them together, unfortunately, because it is an 80% speedrun. And we gotta go fast, unfortunately, so they're gonna be separated for a bit. Okay. Usually when you try to do a character transition in between screen transitions, as long as you notice the little flashing image on the health, if that doesn't flash, that means the character switch did not happen when you did the screen transition. So you want to try to make the character change right before, so you see the flash happen. And that way you'll know that you got the character change correctly. So in this section, we had Flavio and Marita, the dancing hippos. They were causing a ruckus with their dancing, and I missed a cycle on this. So these barrels are like 4 barrels per cycle. I'm gonna go ahead and watch for these really quick here. Okay, there's a 4th one, and we're just gonna let Mindy and Buttons kind of roll away, and don't worry, no child or animal is harmed in the making of this video game. Okay, and now we head into this section here. We're gonna take an intentional hit. I should have enough health for this, because those flames do take 2 damage. So you kind of see, like, on the top left corner, like, we're just about 1 or 2 hits away from being dead. But it should be okay. Now heading into this section here, these are it reminds me of the Yoku blocks from Mega Man. Or they just kind of disappear, reappear in different areas. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Let's take that. And I like how they place an extra life right where the flames are. It's like they want you to jump for it. Like it's a Konami. Yeah, it's a Konami game, so they gotta make it trolly somewhat. Okay, we're gonna try to go for a skip here. Ah, I just missed it. Jumped a little short on that. So we gotta kind of go this way and around just to get back up there again, because the switch that we need is down in the middle there. So we try to go for a skip by hitting this and then just jumping into that, and I missed it again.
There's a blinking, you'll miss it, Pinky in the Brain cameo.
Yep. Yeah, Brain had like those really long legs. And there's a lot of references from the cartoon as well.
Yeah.
You'll be noticing it throughout the entire game. Okay, I think I need to be... No, I need to be Wacko for this section. Okay, this is the RNG heavy part that I was mentioning. So there are two phases to this fight. The first phase is we're going to be throwing pies at Ralph here. And this pie launcher is absolutely random. There's like no good way to control this thing. Even if I'm just like standing still and hitting it. And it may look like the pie is not even hitting Ralph because of how he's moving as well. But we need to hit Ralph 5 times in this phase in order to move on. Okay, there's 2. Got 3. That's 4. Maybe we might get him here. Nope, he moved a little too fast. Yeah, this is probably like one of the most annoying parts of the stage. So at least we got through that somewhat quickly. It's not fast enough, but it's good enough in this case. So now here we are as Yakko. We're just gonna push the block here and then switch right back to Wacko. And this part of the fight, this is actually automated. However, we need to pretty much keep Ralph as far away as possible. The only thing that's RNG is the lid that's up on the exhaust pipe there, because we have to throw coal in there to make the train go. And that lid opens and closes whenever it wants to, and there's no way to like manipulate that RNG for it. So what Ralph is going to end up doing here, he's going to try to land on the pretty much where the coal is, and he will jump on his own eventually, and he'll miss it. But if we bring the train close by, he'll jump right into it, and we just have to frantically hit the switch to get him off. But once you start seeing him run, which he just jumped right now, all we got to do here is just put the train to the right side and just stand right here. And you kind of see that Ralph is just running as fast as he could, using those stubby legs of his to run really quickly. But he just trips and falls, and we end up finishing the stage.
Oh, Ralph.
All right. Yeah. He tries.
You got a second here? I can read some stuff.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. No donations as of right now to talk about, but just to keep everybody up to date and to wake everybody up. I know it's late. It's been a long day, but we're still having fun here. We got the rest of Animaniacs here, and then we got one more run after this to go. We're so close to halfway to our goal. If we can reach that on day 1, that'd be outstanding. So get those donations in now. We're even closer to LP and myself getting that tattoo goal. That's so close, just over $200 away. Let's see if we can hit that before the night's end. That'd be great. That's a good way to go out for the first night, I think. But still plenty of time to get donations in tonight. Still plenty of time in this run itself to get some donations in. Support SuperSonic for another great run. This incentive run and his run earlier today was outstanding. So get those donations in now. You can win some great prizes that we have available to you, including that Spider-Man 2 PlayStation 5 bundle that was amazingly given to us by Video Game Trading Post, the locally owned and operated game store in Pensacola, Florida, our friends down there. So if you're ever in the area, stop in and shop their store for games, retros, new releases, figures, trading card games, statues, and a whole lot, everything you need to be a prime geek collector like I am, and like a lot of us are. So We want to thank them again for being a part of our events this weekend, and of course all the great runners that we had today and we'll have tomorrow as well, including Sonic here. So back to you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so here we are. This is the graveyard / haunted house level. Earlier I tried to go for a bit of a skip there, but I got caught by the Jack-in-the-Box and got sent back to the beginning of the level. And then we had to pretty much move the blocks to create the platform, which does waste time. And then they also had those trees in the background. It looks like they're, you know, flipping the bird. It just looks really funny too. But now we're like inside the haunted house section. I did also catch the Dracula here with Dot. Because if I didn't catch him with a kiss early on, he would just be jumping back and forth and just shooting fireballs like a ton, and it's very annoying to deal with. So we were able to catch him like pretty much on the first frame as he spawns. So we were actually forced to grab the timer there. The timer does actually add up to the score, and there's no way to get around that currently. But for this section here, so this is the puzzle-based element of the game. We just put the boxes in the wrong order at first to open this left door, and then we put them back into the right order to open the right door. I'm just gonna head into this exit here, which isn't really an exit, it's just taking us to the sewer. And you can kind of see on the sign there's a skull. That means if we fall into the water, we instantly die, so we don't want to do that. And the platform just decided to leave me because the water was draining up top. That's just dandy. All right, let's just do this. There's actually a way you can get a frame perfect jump off this button here. But it's pretty difficult to do, so I just choose to go for the block instead, just to kind of make it easier. Now we're just gonna wait for this water, then we're gonna be grabbing this extra life, which is pretty much in the way, which is fine. I mean, we can just grab it for the time being, it's no big deal. And now we're gonna grab this block here to make a platform. And then we're gonna fight the boss in this level. With that, place this right here. I'll switch over to Wacko. All right, we're back with Dracula again, and we're just gonna stun lock him up top here. So Dracula is always gonna jump across from you, and you can kind of see that there's arrows placed like where you hit the hammer. So by doing it this way, we're just gonna keep him locked on the top right corner of the screen, and we just gotta drop him on his butt like 7 times. And you do see Pinky and the Brain on the bottom of the stage there too, because they're plotting something as well. Just like that, Dracula disappears, and we get the Jason mask, which ironically was Friday the 13th yesterday. Makes sense.
We all survived, I hope.
Yeah, we did. We definitely survived it. Alrighty, so here we are coming into the final stage. This is the Edgar, which is like the equivalent of the Oscars. And this stage is ridiculously difficult. There's a lot of platforming that can be very hectic at times. And we are going to be at low health pretty soon here. So in this section, we're going to switch over to Wacko and be buffering the jump so that way I can bounce off of this a little higher. Otherwise, I would barely miss that. Now in this section here, yeah.
I was gonna say a complete non sequitur here, just a glimpse into how my brain works. I hear the name Edgar, and the first thing I think of is the scene in Men in Black where the woman is talking to her husband about his skin hanging off his bones. Edgar, your skin is hanging off your bones. Just her voice just cracks me up every time. Sorry. Anyway, back to actually, hey, real quick here. Arnav gave us a donation of $68.77. No message there, but thank you so much for that.
All right, let's go. Yeah, let's keep them donos coming.
Plenty of time here. Get them in.
All
A little bit of
so
time
we're
left
just gonna-
with Sonic, but plenty of time tonight. Yep.
Yep, exactly. All right, now this part of the level, this is where the doozy is, because we're going to be dealing with Flavio and Marita yet again, and they're going to be dancing on top of an apartment building somehow. And I don't know how it's supporting their weight, but I guess this looks like a, like an LA or New York style apartment, maybe. So it might be like heavy duty, but they try to go for a platform cycle skip here, which we didn't quite get, but still managed to get through there unscathed, surprisingly, because that section is really difficult.
Maybe LA rated for earthquake damage.
Yeah. You see that swinging ball and chain there? That kind of reminds me of Sonic 1, like the very first boss fight.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna set this on fire to blow it up, and it's gonna create stairs. Okay, now this section. So it's gonna be blowing up on the left side. That is instant death if we get caught by that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the safety apple here. Now they're gonna make this platform, and of course they put the extra life where we cannot reach it. But it's not like we really need it at this point. Okay, just gonna jump off those because they blow up instantly. Like pretty much the frame after you land, it'll start blowing up. All right, we got through that section. All right, now we're gonna switch back to Yakko here, and there's gonna be a, ouch. That helicopter there, it'll shoot the glass windows, and those window shards deal 2 damage. I'm gonna let it shoot that here. I'm gonna shoot that there, all right, no problem. And I can actually reach that by hitting this. And now we're heading into the second to last screen, and we instantly take a death, which is fine because we're still at the beginning of this screen here. I guess that's another thing that I probably should have mentioned. So when you die in this game, and if you're like deep into a screen, it'll take you back to the beginning of that screen, because that's how checkpoints work in this game. So deaths are actually pretty brutal in terms of like, if you get pretty far into a certain screen and then you end up kicking the bucket and having to start it all over again. Yeah, that was the that fire hydrant that I broke open. That is the second instance in where the game is a little laggy because of these fireballs here. But we don't need to break any more open. And then we're heading into our last screen, and that's Steven Spielberg right there.
Yeah, he was featured pretty prominently in the cartoon, if I remember.
Yeah. And here we go. We grab the Edgar, and we are graced with a 2-minute unskippable cutscene. And this cutscene, this cutscene here is basically showing what Pinky and the Brain are plotting, because they are the final boss of the game. So we will be fighting Pinky and the Brain, and it is going to be a 2-phase fight, and we will start the fight with Dot first, and then we're going to cycle through Yakko and Wacko, and then back to Dot. So as long as we continuously keep that cycle going, we will be able to finish the boss fight fairly quickly. And since we are on this easy difficulty, the boss health is actually a lot lower compared to the other difficulties. So it's not going to take too long as the boss doesn't troll us. So the way the boss fight is going to work is Pinky is going to be bringing out bombs, and he's going to try to light them up. But if we blow a kiss with Dot right before he lights up the bomb, then he's just going to be like, charmed by Dot, and then he'll just toss the bomb without igniting it. And with Yakko, we will push the bomb towards the boss fight, or towards the boss rather, and use Wacko to hit it, and then it'll light it on fire, and it'll blow up, thus damaging the boss. And we just keep on doing that until he completely blows up. So this is the part where, Brain is like, "Are you pondering what I'm pondering, Pinky?"
I was about to try and do Pinky's G-Brain.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Nerf. I can't even do it.
Nerf.
I love the voice actors in this cartoon. Like, they're so good. All right, we're almost out of this cutscene here. The funny thing about this cutscene in particular is if you beat the game one time through, you can actually skip this cutscene. But there isn't a category for that yet. We might call it New Game Plus or something like that, so we can skip that cutscene, because that would save like 2 minutes of trouble right there. All right, here we go. Now we're about to start this fight. So right away, we're gonna switch over to Dot. Gonna wait for Pinky to bring out a bomb. It goes right there. And then we just gotta rinse and repeat. He's gonna bring out another bomb. Also, the boss will try to kick us too, but it's too tall to even reach us. Okay, we should be heading into phase number 2 here. So phase number 2, the top half is gonna break open, and it'll pretty much go up the opposite side of where you are. And now the legs are pretty much have a mind of its own, so it'll try to kick us, but it can also damage the boss at the same time. Just kind of do that here, and we'll just potentially take damage. It doesn't really deal too much in this situation. So I accidentally switched over to a different character. Okay, I need the legs close by. Alright, there we go. That's the final hit, and time is going to be when I grab all the artifacts. And we're going to grab it with, hey, you know what? Let's grab it with Yakko. There it is, all blown up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's time.
Wow. All right.
Oh, it was just barely underestimate.
Outstanding.
Yeah, so there you have it, folks. That is Animaniacs on the Sega Genesis. We got all 5 artifacts, and we defeated Pinky and the Brain and preventing them from taking over the world. And yeah, my name is SuperSonic. I hope you all enjoy this run as well as the Mario 1 run I did earlier in the afternoon. I will be back tomorrow hosting during the Pokemon Let's Go Eevee run. Is it Eevee or Pikachu? I think it's Eevee.
It's Eevee.
It's Eevee? Okay.
There you go.
There we go. I will be hosting for that. So, but until then, stay tuned for Umbrella Jill. She's going to be doing a pretty cool clock tower run.
There you go. Thank you, Sonic. Thank you for doing my job for me. And we'll be right back in just a moment with the aforementioned run from Umbrella Jill. Stay tuned and stretch out, get some water. We'll be right back.